Hi, my name is Pranav Diagram. I'm 17 years old. I go to Reedy High School in Frisco, Texas, and I've been with Teenr since my sophomore year. Just to describe my general experience with Teenr, I'd have to say it was extremely positive. I liked how professional the team was with nearly everything, especially with deadlines and how they managed to build my profile and my character as a whole. What I'd say they do really well in, and what I feel most high schoolers would benefit from, is the amount of connection building that they offer. They have a lot of programs where you're able to build your connections in the desired field of your likings. Since I want to pursue medicine, I was able to make a bunch of connections in the medical field through Teenr and immersion. As far as for initial expectations, I didn't really go into Teenr looking for much. I just wanted to build my profile and see which would be the strongest way in order to make me the most desirable candidate for the colleges and universities that I want to go to. And let's just say within the first few meetings, I could tell that they will offer just that for me, with the personality building and just getting to know me, because I felt like, yes, I'm a client, but they also got to know me more on a personal scale. And that, I feel like, would help benefit me whenever I'm writing my essays for colleges, whenever I'm building my profiles and stuff like that. So initially we had a meeting every week for, I think, about 5 to 7 weeks. And then after that, we decreased the amount of meetings we had to once every 2 weeks. And yeah, we're just continuing on that pattern. So I will be speaking from the perspective of the eldest child of an immigrant household. My parents, they don't know much about the college process. Just to be blatantly honest with you, they don't know how the college process is and how competitive the process is. And so having a career counselor and a college counselor at that truly benefited me, because it showed me how competitive this world is and what steps I need to take in order to compete on the same level as these academic students around the nation, right? So that is definitely one of the strong sides of Teenr itself. And also, I mentioned this before, but connection building is probably one of the most important things with just a general high school student. Without connections, they aren't able to make the extracurriculars, the activities, and the impact projects that they need to form in order to create an impactful profile, right? I mean, my parents, they come from an IT background, so me going to medicine, that's completely different from what my parents want, right? So just building those connections is such an important thing, and Teenr offers just that. So to sum this question up, I'll just say 2 points. One, I learned a better work-life balance, and two, a more business-forward mindset. So to talk about the work-life balance, I'm sure the counselors at Teenr already know that I'm a very busy student, and so it gets easy for me to get overwhelmed with the amount of work that I have. A problem with me is that I often stress myself with too much work, to the point where I don't have enough time to talk to even my parents, my friends. I don't have that work-life balance. But after Teenr, I was able to put my priorities straight. Before Teenr, I had my academics and my projects on the same priority, because I felt that if I can increase both at the same time, my application would be stronger. But after Teenr, I've learned that academics just need to be a little bit higher than your passion projects and your extracurriculars, so that as long as you're making an impact in the world, your grades need to be fine. But as far as for business forward mindset, I always had the passion of starting a business or starting an initiative or a passion project for myself. Before, I had a good understanding of how the business world works, how negotiating works, and how talking with investors work. But after Teenr, I was able to learn what choices I need to be making, how I need to set up my meetings with investors, what I need to have prepared for my business to succeed. And so Teenr has helped me put things in perspective, especially in the business side of things. I've done 3 internships so far. One is the Young Innovators program. Just to give a brief description about that. That is an entrepreneurship program, and so that program helped me create my business that I have today, Equates Bakery. And so that's kind of what I learned in that internship. My second internship was Cyprax. It's a psychology internship, and because I want to go inside the neuropsychology, psychiatry world in the future, I found it extremely beneficial because once again I made the connections with psychiatrists all over the world. And then finally, I'm at a remote internship called MG Health Tech. They are a business dedicated to creating medical technology, diagnostics, medical technology in pulmonary diseases. And as someone who is interested in the medical field, I want to keep my mind open to new opportunities all over the medical field. And so I felt that considering medical technology is a good way for me to see how the engineering side of medicine is if actual medicine is not the best fit for me. And so in MG Health Tech, what I do is I do data research and analytics. So what that means is I go up to doctors around the DFW area and I interview them, talking about or asking them whether these pulmonary diagnostic technologies would be beneficial to them in their workplace. And so that's basically what I do. I do industry research for the business itself. So yeah, in the Young Innovators program, I found it extremely beneficial. One, it's an entrepreneurship program, and as I mentioned before, I have a very large interest in creating something that I can call my own, as many students, right? And so Young Innovators program truly was the catalyst for that. I knew that I wanted to start something, but Young Innovators program made sure that I actually started it, right? So in this case, it would be my business or bakery, Eco East Bakery. We're a 100% sustainable bakery. And so what that means is we offer food that creates benefit for the environment. So the Young Innovators program, that really helped me create a pitch presentation for future investors. It helped me learn how to negotiate with future investors. It helped me create a finance plan, a marketing plan, a prospective industry analysis for my business. And because of that, I was able to succeed in my business. And I found it extremely beneficial. It was extremely beneficial for me because one, I do want to go into the neuroscience medical field. And so, like I mentioned before, since I had no family members in the medical field, I really needed help building those connections with doctors. I needed help finding research projects, finding international projects, because I truly want to expand my impact globally. Using Cyprax in an internship based in India, I was able to find doctors in India who have the same passion as me. And just to detour off to the side about what psychology is in India, it's starting to become a growing industry because people are starting to understand that mental health matters in these countries, right? And that's become revolutionary because in the past, India and other countries alike, they haven't placed much importance on psychology and on mental health because that's just the way that life there goes. And I know this because of my interviews with doctors and patients in India, right? And so using Cyprax, I was able to see how passionate these doctors were to revolutionize the idea of mental health itself. And for me to be a part of that, I'm extremely grateful because one, those kids, the children who are going through mental health problems in India, the elders who are going through PTSD, the mothers who are going through postnatal depression, they need the help, and I'm able to advocate for them using Cyprax. And with the connections that I'm able to make through Cyprax, I've been able to do research. I've been able to do internships internationally. I've been able to find even more connections that would be beneficial to me in medical school or undergraduate school. Yeah, that's just how my experience was in Cyprax. Paying customers, yes, I do. As of right now, because I have my standardized testing SAT and stuff like that, I haven't been looking into it that much. But before the month of October or November, we did have paying customers. We had private orders for parties and stuff like that, and we've been able to host stalls at certain fundraising events. And an event that we did was, there's an initiative called Voices for All. I'm pretty sure that's the name. It's an initiative dedicated to advocating for sexual assault victims, and so we were able to cater food or cater baked goods for that event itself. So I'm extremely happy that we are able to help another project through that. Another thing is, because we have now made enough money to support ourselves in the future, we want to move to a more charity-based work. As of right now, it is a social initiative because we are 100% ethical with our sourcing of ingredients. We're 100% ethical with where our trash goes. It's an immense problem in the food industry right now. And so we want to expand our reach by not only doing that, by also helping people who are going through food insecurity, people who are too poor to buy healthy food for themselves. Yes, we are a bakery, but baked goods can be healthy as well. And that's the point that I'm trying to bring. Many people think that bakeries are like cakes, donuts, and yes, that may be true, but there are alternatives for ingredients that will help the people in need. So initially, I'll tell you the entire story. Initially, we had about 14 people in our team, and that was just to see how well I work with a large team. Because nothing is final. Let's be honest. There's nothing is final until we actually start making money and we actually are working, right? So I was able to understand that delegating tasks as a CEO to a large team, it's hard for me because everyone is going through different stages in their life, and that's undeniable, and I can't do anything about that. Learning to be a leader, especially for a large team, is hard, and so I had to unfortunately cut down on some of my some members of the team because of their life challenges that have been going on, as well as challenges for me to contact with them. Yeah, as of right now, we have about 6 people in the team, 1 for graphic design, 1 for marketing, 1 for finance, 1 for volunteering and PR, and then 1 for baking and culinary. So that sums up our team. I'm going to answer this question in 1, a college expected answer, and number 2, a personal answer from me. So when we're looking at the grand scheme of things, especially in college applications, colleges are looking for candidates who are leaders, who know how to take a step. They know how to take a step forward for the betterness of the world. And so if you are showing that you have what it takes to balance your academics, balancing your extracurriculars, as well as creating your own initiative, that shows that 1, you're a good student with a very, very effective work-life balance. Number 2, you know how to work with the team. And especially if you want to go into the medical field, working with the team is extremely important. So that shows you that you have good team working skills. Number 3, it shows colleges and universities that you know how to make important decisions with a lot of thought into them. For my business itself, I had to make so many choices where I had to turn down people, turn down investors, turn down people who wanted to donate for them to be a part of this business. And although it would have benefited my initiative financially, I knew that in the grand scheme of things, it would not benefit me. So creating those choices shows colleges and universities that you know how to take a step forward and make those changes for yourself. And now finally, talking about it in my own as an entrepreneur to other prospective entrepreneurs, I'd say that 1, calling something that you can call yourself is one of the most prideful things in the world. I'd say, I would even compare it to like being a parent, which I know it's completely unrealistic, but it's like your project is like your baby. You want it to succeed in the future, so you're doing whatever it takes in order for it to succeed. I remember what my friend said. She is my marketing lead. Whenever I was going through a tough time in my business, I was like, what do I do? Do I want to make it a more sustainable business, or do I want to go in a more business? Like, be more business oriented, right? And she was like, you have a plan. This is your baby. You have to make sure that you can succeed and put some thought into it. We're not expecting an answer right now. This is your child. You need to make sure that it grows. And that still sticks with me. You find pride in what you're doing, and you find responsibility, and finding that responsibility is definitely one of the most happiest feelings ever. And if you are creating a social initiative, if you are helping people as well as helping yourself by growing your leadership skills, it's even better, because then you're hearing the feedback from whoever you've helped. You're hearing people be like, thank you so much. This is a cause that no one ever talks about. I'm glad that you, a high schooler, are taking forward and addressing this issue within our community. Those comments encourage you so much. And so that's what I'd say. Even when it gets hard as an entrepreneur, you just need to think about what you can do in order to help others. So this definitely has this definitely like how we meet the team, how I've met Malini Auntie and Aarti Auntie, that definitely has a role in the way that my initiatives are going out, right? So for me, they did, I won't say diagnostics test, but a personality test for me, and they did a test to identify my passions itself. So I was very clear to them, which I'm pretty sure was very clear, that I was interested in medicine, music, cooking, and that pretty much summed up what I was interested in at the time. So using those passions, they said, you already know what you're good at. You already know what you like. Why not profit off of that? Why not monetize off of that, you know? So for me, in my interest for cooking, we created Eco Eats, and they helped me find that passion, and they guided me through converting that passion into a project. And so that's what they helped me with as far as for the cooking aspect of things. For my music passion, I'm currently creating music catered towards self-esteem and body care and feeling good about yourself and your body, right? And so I'm currently making music that is dedicated to body positivity. I'm also in an initiative called Rhythmic Remedies, where we go around helping people in need. People who are senior citizens who have mental disorders, children who are disabled with ADHD, ADD, dyslexia, kids like those. We're targeting those kids, and we're using music as a form of therapy, as a form of showing them that their voices are not left unheard, that we hear them, and that we want to make sure that the trajectory of their life is positive. And using something that I'm passionate in, music, as a singer, it brings me such joy that I'm able to help someone like that. As far as for medicine, I am interested in medicine right now. I've created this nonprofit called Teenr along with a friend, and we basically find patients in India who cannot pay for their medical bills due to their financial situation. And we raise money, we raise dollars in the US and convert that to rupees in order to send that money to families in India. And we educate high schoolers and college students on health insurance in the US as well. That's kind of how they helped me bring my passions to life. To answer this question, I'll split it up into two parts. Number one is my life as a whole and how my passions that have come from my life experience have formed Eco Eats and how Teenr has helped me through that, and my love for public speaking and just talking in general. So as far as like the public speaking aspect of it, I'm sure it is pretty evident that in this interview, I love to speak. I love to be a presenter. I love to advocate for things. And so as a public speaker itself, I already have the voice in order to advocate for something, right? And so as of right now, Mali auntie and Aarti auntie from Teenr, they understood my passion for talking, and they used my passions in order to advocate for change, right? So in this case, my passion would be food insecurity, food waste management, and cooking. Ever since I can remember as a child, my mom, she has been a very large impact in me and how I view the cooking world itself. My mom, when I was younger, my mom ran a blog where she made about 1,000 recipes, and I asked her, why are you keep working on this blog? Why are you doing so much for this blog? Well, you have already reached 1,000 recipes. You already reached such a large base of supporters. Why do you keep working? And to that she said, Pranav, when you go to college and I'm not there to help you cook anymore, I want you to go back and look at all these recipes and just know that even if I'm not here anymore, you can still use these recipes and have a piece of me with you through cooking. And at that moment, I knew that cooking has been such a large impact in the way that I view my family and the outlook of my life itself. And so after telling that to Aarti auntie and Mali auntie, they said, you have such an interest for cooking. Why not convert it, right? And as I mentioned before, they helped me convert my passion into a project. Let me explain how. So especially for Eco Eats, they introduced me to the Young Innovators program where I can put my ideas forward, because I had the idea for a cooking initiative or cooking business or something like that. I was able to use my entrepreneurship skills that I gained from the Young Innovators program into my passion for cooking in order to create a social impact. My parents have a garden, so I know what it takes in order to grow sustainable food. I know the amount of food waste that's being created in a kitchen because I like to cook myself. And so because I understand that there's so much food waste in one household itself, what about all the households in the entire world? How much waste is being produced in each household, right? And to combat that problem, I used my passion of cooking and the knowledge of entrepreneurship that I gained from the Young Innovators program to solve this question. And so the way that I solved it is I created a food business itself that one makes everything sustainably. No food waste, and if we do create food waste, natural food waste, then everything's going to composting. And we use those components to create a social initiative in order to benefit the entire Dallas Frisco community, which I think that's extremely beneficial considering how much waste is being created in our community itself. And so what my philosophy is on this entire thing is that in my community, and if I want to make change, I should first address my community's problem. And then once I'm able to solve that, I can expand. And so using that, I was able to create this initiative. Thanks to their help, I advocated for the problem that has been present in my community. I cannot stress this enough. Colleges, the entire college process is so competitive. And as a student, no matter what I do, there will be a kid that lives somewhere in the world who has already done so much more than me, and they're already guaranteed a spot in a top university. And so I just kind of thought to myself, like, if there are already kids like that, what is the chance? What is the point of me even competing? I could just go to a simple college, I'll get my degree, and I'll go to a medical school and become a doctor. That's done, right? That was my philosophy before coming to Teenr. I knew that my extracurriculars were fine, but I didn't think of creating initiatives. I didn't think of putting my passions to use. And so starting college prep very quickly, it showed me that I have what it takes. I'm the catalyst for my own change. And the people at Teenr, the counselors at Teenr, Amali Auntie and Arti Auntie, they showed me that although there might be some kid somewhere in the world that is doing so much, you also are that kid. You can be that kid as well. And since I joined in my sophomore year, beginning of sophomore year, which is considered to be later than most students, I was still able to do so much. Like, I have 4 initiatives right now. I run 3 nonprofits and 1 business. Like, I became that child who I was so envious of. And so starting college prep put things into perspective for me and taught me that if I want to get something done, I better start working right now. And using that analogy, college, all these kids, they want to go to a top university. They want to do good things in their life. They want to make their parents proud. And the only way to do that is starting early and putting your work to use. And college prep resources like Teenr, they've given me the connections in order to do that. They've given me time management skills to do that. They've given me a platform to voice my concerns, to voice my initiatives, to voice everything. And they've using those things, they've helped me create a better profile for myself. To say that I'm positive about the experience and that I'm grateful for even meeting the team is such an understatement. Before Teenr, I didn't know what I was going to do. I knew that I wanted to be a doctor, but I didn't know how to act upon that. And so what I like about Teenr is that compared to other college programs, they actually listened to me. Like, they actually listened to what I'm interested in. And instead of having like different counselors each week, instead of having different teams that are talking to me, Malani Auntie, Arti Auntie, they consistently are the ones that are talking to me despite their busy schedule. And so I was able to build that relationship with them. I was able to build that trust with them that I don't find in other college preparation programs, right? And so I really just like the relationship that you're able to build with the counselors in Teenr, as well as the immense amount of connection building that you get to do. Before Teenr, I genuinely think to myself how my life would have been if it weren't for Teenr, because the amount of connections that I made in the medical field is insane. I wouldn't have been able to achieve that without Teenr. And all these internships that I'm doing, the 3 internships that I mentioned, that was at the courtesy of Teenr. They are the ones that recruited me for those internships, because the people at Teenr, they put in a good word for me. And so I was able to build myself more. And that is the most beneficial thing that I got from this program. And I truly like how they try to build a relationship with each and every student. I don't have anything to say as far as for recommendations, because I feel like they are pretty on top of everything. And that is pretty evident in the way that my college process is going and the trajectory of my life. I have no recommendations or suggestions, just all positive feedback for Teenr. Thank you.